The United States has imposed new penalties on a Greek shipping company accused of helping Iran sell oil. This move, announced on August 21, 2025, is part of ongoing efforts to block Iran's oil revenue. The U.S. believes Iran uses oil profits to fund dangerous activities. Oil tankers owned by the Greek company allegedly carried Iranian oil in violation of U.S. sanctions. These sanctions are designed to put economic pressure on Iran and disrupt its funding sources. The U.S. Treasury Department identified Antonios Margaritis, a Greek shipper, as a key player in this network. Margaritis and his companies are accused of secretly moving Iranian oil. This action is part of a broader U.S. strategy to monitor Iran, especially after a recent ceasefire between Iran and Israel. The story involves multiple countries, Greece, Iran, China, and highlights how oil money fuels global conflicts. The U.S. is leveraging its financial power to enforce international rules. The message: companies that help Iran sell oil risk severe consequences. This is not an isolated event but a warning to the global shipping industry. The U.S. aims to make it clear that violating sanctions will have serious repercussions. The world is watching how these economic tools shape international relations. At the center is Antonios Margaritis, a Greek shipping magnate. The U.S. has targeted him and a network of companies he controls. These companies span the globe, from Greece to Hong Kong, the UAE, and the Marshall Islands. 9 companies and 12 ships are now under U.S. sanctions. Many of these ships use flags of convenience to hide their true ownership. One company, Changbai Glory Shipping Limited, is based in the Marshall Islands but operates a ship under Liberia's flag. Since March 2025, this ship alone has moved over 4 million barrels of Iranian oil to China. The U.S. action exposes how complex shipping networks help Iran bypass sanctions. By naming companies and vessels, the U.S. aims to disrupt this secretive trade. The sanctions target not just people but the tools, ships, and companies that make the oil trade possible. This global web shows how difficult it is to enforce sanctions in a world of hidden ownership and international loopholes. The U.S. is sending a message: no matter where you operate, you can be held accountable. The crackdown is meant to break the chain that keeps Iranian oil flowing. The U.S. wants to cut off Iran's oil revenue because it funds advanced weapons programs. Oil money supports Iran's military and groups the U.S. considers threats. Sanctions are meant to weaken Iran's ability to build missiles and drones. By targeting shippers, the U.S. hopes to scare others from moving Iranian oil. The strategy: make it too risky for companies to help Iran even if buyers exist. This economic pressure follows a recent ceasefire between Iran and Israel, aiming to keep Iran from rebuilding its military. Sanctions are the U.S.'s way of enforcing peace without military force. Sanctions put people and companies on a financial blacklist. Those targeted are cut off from the U.S. financial system and lose access to assets. American and many global companies are banned from doing business with them. Banks worldwide avoid sanctioned entities to protect their own U.S. ties. The 12 ships under sanction will struggle to get insurance, repairs, or port access. These measures make it nearly impossible for the network to keep operating. The goal: isolate the sanctioned companies from the global economy. Sanctions use the power of the U.S. dollar to enforce international rules. This action against a Greek shipper is part of a larger U.S. effort to limit Iran's power. Sanctions on Iran's energy sector aim to cut off funding for weapons and regional influence. China, the biggest buyer of Iranian oil, complicates enforcement. The network led by Margaritis was designed to get oil to buyers like China, despite sanctions. Every barrel sold funds groups and weapons the U.S. wants to stop. The U.S. believes breaking this link is key to Middle East stability. These sanctions are more than punishment, they're a signal of U.S. policy. Economic strength is being used to enforce peace and limit threats. This story shows how oil, money, and power are deeply connected. In today's world, financial tools can be as powerful as weapons.